Pretty much all my life. You know, apparently when I was 3 I started singing during Bright Eyes, during Watership Down, and was singing Bright Eyes in the movie theatre, so my parents knew I was going to be a singer
And
from then.
you've had lessons since then, or?
I actually started doing classical at opera at high school, and then I did jazz school, and then I toured with a band, and then I've been doing theatre, so I've sort of done a little bit of everything really.
Okay, what's the kind of career goal? Where are you wanting to go with it?
I guess just anywhere where I can sing. You know, if I can get paid to sing, that would be amazing. I mean, you know, it's my passion, so.
So it's stage performance or recording an album, or what's
both, you know, anything really. Just like I said, I mean, you know, singing is singing, whether it's on stage or it's in a recording studio. I mean, live performance is amazing, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything that lets me do live performance is great.
And 100 grand, what would you do with that if you won?
I want my parents to retire, so I actually probably buy them a motorhome. Because that would force them to have to retire, because they'd see this great motorhome and go, oh yeah, that's a good reason to retire. So yeah, probably would do that.
On a serious note.
Yeah, no, it was really good. We loved the judges' feedback. We especially loved the audience participation. Yeah, it was off the hook. It was at the hook.
So how long you guys been doing this?
We've been doing
3 or 4
this
months.
since New Zealand's Got Talent's first audition, really.
Really? So you guys, you weren't actually a group before then, or?
No.
So
He
you
was
just
my best friend at school, and we just
came together as a group band.
So it was the lure of the 100 grand, or it was just, oh, let's give this a go?
Let's give this a go, because we all loved music for what it was and
what it
stuff.
was.
And then we heard that there was a prize of $100,000 that was just a bonus. So yeah, we thought, yeah, let's go for it.
And if you do win, what would you do with the money?
We'd first of all, because we'd like to become a success story for New Zealand music, and we'd like to first of all travel and meet the people that voted for us, really, and
do something for them.
They're the ones that they're going to inspire us to write. And,
Definitely. Yeah.
So travel is the first thing on our list, and then some new equipment
because like an extra drum kit. Because a leg was missing.
Cool. How long have you guys been doing what you're doing?
Since we're about maybe 7 or 8.
Yep.
Dancing together maybe 10 or 11 years.
Wow. And what inspired you to come and audition for the show?
$100,000. Yeah, pretty much. Each other, new experiences. Yeah, take it to the next level, I guess.
Cool. And so you got a career goal with tapping, or?
I'd like to take dancing further, and all dance. Yeah, different styles, not only tap, and get some more education and hopefully travel with it would be pretty cool.
Cool.
And to do what we love doing for a living,
If you win the 100 grand, what would you do with it?
What would we do with it? Overseas.
Yeah.
Take our hip hop crew to world champs. There's a lot more opportunities overseas. Obviously, professional dancing is not as big in New Zealand as it should be, and overseas is where all the opportunities are, and that's where professional dancers make the money, and that's where it's all happening. So we need the experience, I guess, from that money to get overseas to do what we want to do.
It is quite intense, quite physical.
Getting tied up in knots up there, it's...
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they got us to run it quite a few times, so having to do it over and over again is quite physically challenging. But it's fun and I love it. I love the energy and the thrill and the excitement. I guess it makes me feel alive, and it's a bit scary at the same time. All bits and pieces. I've worked with a lot of different trainers, a lot of different aerialists and performers, self-taught but also trained with trainers in Australia and New Zealand. You do expect a few falls. I mean, you have a safety crash mat and things. Usually you're wrapped up in a tissue, so the fall is sort of broken a little bit, but I think going into a career such as mine, you can expect, I mean, that's part and parcel, I suppose.
So it's actually a career, you're making money off what you're doing?
Full-time employed aerial performer.
Wow, congrats. And winning 100 grand, what would you do with that?
I mean, lots of different things. My partner and I would like to have our own training space, because a lot of the time it's very hard to have to find spaces, obviously, that cater for what we do. So probably need to look into something like that, and then passing on our knowledge to other people so they can keep entertaining and using aerials.
How long have you been doing this?
Since I was 7.
7? And you self-taught, or you've had lessons, or?
I've had heaps of different teachers. Lessons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. And what are you kind of wanting to get out of being on a TV show like this?
Well, I want to become famous, so I just want to get my name out there. Yeah.
Excellent. So, obviously, being on a show like this, you're now going to be somewhat famous when you go back to school. So,
yeah.
I guess the plan now is to be even more famous.
Yeah.
And winning $100,000, what would you do with that?
I buy myself an acoustic electric guitar and make a CD.
How many of there normally performing with you guys?
It ranges really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the New Zealand Got Talent, we've got 4 performers, but our group, we've got over a dozen guys.
Yep.
But it depends on availability and when guys are free and when they can perform. We do all sorts of gigs, so.
So some of the guys are out injured at the moment. Is that due to sports and stuff, or just the intensity of the actual act?
Yeah, well, and the other thing is other guys got other commitments, and this is not really a paying job, and guys got to work, and guys do long shifts.
It's just reality. Really.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it could be paying if you come away with $100,000 at the end.
Yeah.
So what happens to the others if if that happens?
Well, we're looking at the long run, eh? Like we're looking past $100,000. We're looking at the exposure and taking this overseas, and
So that was kind of the whole idea of coming on the show, is just to get that exposure.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yep.
But the $100,000 would be nice.
It's a bonus. $100,000 is a bonus.
And what would you do with the money if you won?
Well, it's split between 4 of us. 5 of us.
Well, yeah. So it's not really $100,000. It's like 70, 20.
What's the where does all that come from? Why did you choose to take that up?
Oh, just a misspent youth, yeah, so watch out guys. Anything can happen to you when you become an adult. Kayaks, well, the thing is nobody else in the world's doing that kind of stuff, so for me it was an obvious one, as I'm working in the kayak industry, and it's something people can relate to. Like, lots of people have them, they're going to pick up a kayak and go, man, that was heavy, they might not get it tonight, but in the summertime I can guarantee people are going to pick up kayaks and go, man, his was 4.37 metres and ours is just a little ducky 2.5 metres. It's twice the weight, everything like that, and yeah, it's just something to do.
So if there's a rush on hospitals with people with sore necks after, we'll know who to talk to.
Oh man, my chin's bruised from all the rehearsals. Like 26 kilos of weight on your chin. Just try it, to get a 26 kilos of weight and put it on your chin, see how you feel. And also the sword, everything kind of happens for me up in this area. So the sword, and going from swords to the pool cue, my throat's all swollen and cartilage is bruised and things like that. So I probably won't be talking too much the next couple of days. So you're here at the right time, man.
Nice. And $100,000, what would you do with that if you won?
Oh, after tonight, hold a big party because I'm still alive. And there was bets going on that I wouldn't be alive after the show anyway. I probably won't be once Paul gets a hold of me and finds out that I really did stick his glasses up my nose. So.
You auditioned with your grandson. How's he taking the whole thing?
Well, he was disappointed naturally that he didn't go any further, but he was doing something for the first time, so he was. I consoled him in the fact that he was performing against his grandfather in the same competition, and I said, in time he'll develop musically, and he's one of triplet grandsons. They're identical boys, and one plays the piano and one plays the drums, and I wanted my daughter to bring him in as the trumpeter. But my daughter said no, that it was his act. He put his entry in, and he said, she said he was going to do it on his own. So I said, well, and then after he didn't go through, she was disappointed, and she thought, well, she would wish she'd put the other 2 boys in with him. Because they're identical triplets, and they one's very good on the piano and the other one's on the drums, and here was a trumpeter, and he plays the trumpet and the saxophone.
That sounds like a great act just right there.
Absolutely, and identical boys.
Now, if you won the $100,000, what would you do with it?
Well, if I won the $100,000, it's my wife and I are both pensioners, and it would just make our lives a little more comfortable.